Hello guys, this is JP Sarri once again. Welcome to another episode of my weekly vlog, Dropping the Hammer, where I really share my thoughts about news, pop culture, or anything that really matters to me. Today I want to talk about the upcoming Deadpool movie that is everybody's been talking about it online. Personally, I am very excited about the movie. I think it's a long time coming. A lot of people have expected or waited and have asked for it, and it hasn't happened. But finally we're able to have this movie, and definitely a lot of people were pushing for the movie for quite a few years. Rob Liefeld was always outspoken about it. The fan base was always asking for it. Even Ryan Reynolds was trying to get and work around it. So that's really great news for all of us. Even though we are very happy and excited about it, I'm a little disappointed about the R rating, and I want to emphasize. I want to tell you why. First, according to producers, in this case, and according to Fox and everybody that is involved around the movie is based on the Joe Kelly run of the late 90s. Of course, if you know the Joe Kelly, that run, that famous run, it was the one that actually developed the character into what we know, in this case, of Deadpool today. It is totally different than what Rob Liefeld did and the purpose of Deadpool at the beginning. But really what people know about it nowadays, everything started with Joe Kelly. He was the one that really gave shape to the character. And although Deadpool is really an assassin, even though his world is very iffy, there's a lot of stuff going on in his world, he is an anti-hero. And even though he's an anti-hero and sometimes his decisions are, his moral decisions are really iffy, and sometimes they're, completely off. Most of the time, more than often, he does the right thing. And yes, the comic book during those days, and the world of Deadpool, the comic book during those days was very irreverent. It was wacky. It was over the top. It was always on the edge, but it was never intended as a restricted type of read. Of course, you can say that there was a lot of censorship during those days, and there's always censorship in comics. So there was a lot of limitations. A lot of people say, well, there were a lot of things that they tried to do, but they were unable to do during those days, and that's understandable. Now, the reason why I'm not really happy with the R rating is personally, I believe that Fox just is utilizing the news and is just saying we're gonna give this R rate more as a publicity stunt. They're trying to promote the movie, and they're trying to bring a lot of people into the movie, and they want people to talk about the movie and about that. So it's a promotional stunt. It's just to bring more attention to the film. Is the right kind of attention? Well, definitely, I'm not completely sure. The majority of the people that really are excited about the R rate, and I've been checking, I go to forums, I read comments on YouTube, and I read a lot of the articles online, and I've seen videos on YouTube, people praising the R rate. The majority of the people that are really excited about this, and definitely, and honestly, and I'm looking at them, is most of those people are not as familiar with the older Deadpool, are more familiar with the newer ludicrous version of Deadpool that is nowadays in comics, or they know Deadpool through the Max imprint. That personally, the Max imprint from Marvel, that it was a really mature audiences only. To me, it's really garbage. The version of Deadpool, that version of Deadpool is personally, in my opinion, is not the best. Or in this case, the mediocre video game that we had, that it was just, to me, a disappointment. The only people that got excited of the game were pretty much just kids or teenagers that are, they get happy with any type of fart joke or any type of video game that really has no purpose, so it's not well developed. And the people, in this case, that are, they saw the movie of, in this case, Wolverine Origins, and they saw Ryan Reynolds, and they like Ryan Reynolds, and they want to have him in the movie. That's definitely are the people that want to see a Deadpool like that. Not necessarily those that know the character well. But in this case, not everybody, of course. Now, even though I have my reservations about the R rating, I can say that there's some pros about the movie and there's some cons. First of all, and most importantly, above anything else, I think we should be happy that we're getting a Deadpool movie. For crying out loud, I'm really excited about that. I think it's great news, whether it's an R rate, whether it's an PG-13, whether it's a PG or G. I'm extremely happy that we're getting a Deadpool movie. That's out of the question. Ryan Reynolds is on it. Even though, I can tell you about Ryan Reynolds, even though I really, he has done a lot of crappy stuff on movies. A lot of people, I think, overpraising because some of the stuff he has done, but most of his characters have been always immature type of characters. It's all right as an actor. He's a handsome man, I can say that. So, that's okay, but Deadpool is not a handsome man. But, I know he has a little whip when he talks, and, and he is perfect actor. He did well in the Wolverine origin. So I think it's good. I like the way he did in this case. Green Lantern, I liked, even though the movie was bad, but it has nothing to do with him. It has to do with the script. It has to do with the way DC approached the movie. So, those are pros that I'm really, happy. It has the support of Liefeld, has the support of the fan base. So, there is a lot of pros. Now, with the cons, the R rating limits the amount of people that are going to watch the movie, and we have to be honest with that. When you put an R rate or rating, a mature rating into a movie, it's going to be a lot less people going to the movie theater. Because of course, especially a lot of people want to take their families to the movie theater, and that's understandable. I'm a family man. I have family, I have kids, I have a wife. I just don't go to the movie theater just for the heck of it. I go normally with my family. Going nowadays to the movie theater is not a cheap thing. It can get expensive, especially when you have family. And, I want to take my family to enjoy the time. I just don't want to go by myself. Ultimately, especially my wife doesn't like to go to the movie theater for R-rated movies. My daughter just doesn't like to go to the movie theater just for in this case for comic book heroes, and if it's an R rating, it's not her cup of tea. So you have to consider those factors. Not a lot of people are gonna show up. Well, a lot of people will, but not a lot of the people. You want to bring more masses into the movie theater. That's a con. Another con is in this case, Fox doesn't have the best tracking record when it comes about Marvel movies and the franchises, the way they had handled. Yeah, we can say that the last two X-Men movies and the last Wolverine movie, they were, they were better than better than average. But they're the exception. But most of the time, everything that is out there that they have done is really not the best. And of course, another thing that we have to consider as a con is Tim Miller. In this case, not confuse Tim Miller with Tim K. Miller, that is the sculptor for many of the Sideshow pieces or DC Collectibles and other companies. He is a great sculptor. Tim Miller, in this case, he's a creator of a lot of in this case videos and trailers and stuff. He has done a lot of intros for a lot of movies, beautiful stuff, beautiful things that he has done. But this is his first movie as a director, so there is still a lot of unknowns. I'm not sure if he is the right man for the job. Maybe he is. We have still to see. Maybe on the visual department he's gonna be great, but I don't know as a director he could be. This is the right thing for him yet. Well, there's things that we have to consider. We cannot forget. First of all, we cannot forget that the longevity of a franchise, the reason why a franchise can exist for a longer period of time, depends on the success of every movie or every installment on that franchise in the box office. In order for a movie to succeed, in order for a franchise to move up and, succeed, they have to be very successful when it comes about people buying tickets. This depends a lot on the amount of people that come to the movie theater. That's the reason why you see Marvel being so successful, is because every movie has been able to catch the attention to a lot of people, families, people from all different backgrounds, not necessarily comic book readers. A lot of people think that this idea that, a lot of people think that the success of the movies, in this case the Marvel movies, depends on the comic book readers. And that's a complete fallacy. That's a complete lie. In reality, the reason why these movies are successful is for people, the majority of the people that come to the movie theater have no background with comic books. And those are the people that you're trying to bring into the movie theater. And those are the people that need to come to the movie theater to watch the movies. And this is the case for Deadpool. If you want to bring people, then you have to really, in this case, bring more people into the theater. You have to offer something that everybody's interested to watch, that is easier to access. And in this case, the PG-13 is a much better, in this case, option for people to come to the theater to watch the movie. Fox could have given us the same amount of violence, the same amount of language, or the thematic elements. He can just give all that in a PG-13, and they could have just simply pleased the hardcore fans and the newcomer fans. On my final words, I want to say that I really want to watch a mature Deadpool movie. I really do. I just don't want a watered down version of the character for sure. But I want a movie that really pays homage to the character and his really crazy world. Not only a movie that is only trying to please those that are only infatuated with extreme violence, with blood, with gore, thematic elements, with sex, drugs, and so on. And most of the time, the people that only are infatuated with that kind of type of movies are just teenagers. You know, I'm not a teenager. You know, and I want to see a movie that really kind of represents the character. I know he's wacky. I know he does all kind of crazy stuff, that his morality is a little bent, but I want to see a movie that really gives him, it represents him well, the way that the way that he is in the comics. Like I said, I don't want a watered down version of the character, but I don't want a pile of crap. I don't want, fart jokes and boob flashing. It's okay for some people that are into that kind of stuff. But, I'm already old enough, to really not really see the excitement or to see that as entertainment. I want to see something that really gets me hooked into the franchise. And I want to go back again and again and watch the movie. I am definitely going to watch the movie. I'm definitely going to watch it, even if that means that I have to go by myself to the movie theater, something that I really don't want to do. But if I have to do it, I will. But if the movie is crappy, don't expect me to buy the Blu-ray later on. Don't expect me to buy the merchandise. And that has happened with a lot of movies that they had come back and they're not really what I expect. I just don't buy the products. I don't buy the Blu-rays. I just don't buy the merchandise, collectibles, or anything. So that's an important thing. I support good movies. I don't support subpar movies or anything that is just garbage. I just don't. That's my point of view. But definitely I'm hopeful for the movie. But, there's some things that I think that they could handle it better. And if it's a good movie, believe me, I will support it. I will just declare it. I will review it. I will talk about it. But if it's a pile of crap, believe me that I'm going to be very outspoken about it. So on this, I'm dropping the hammer. Thank you for watching this weekly vlog. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good evening. Thank you for everything, my friends.